Today in the house, we have a tech guru, and we're going to see how technology is driving a sustainable future. I'm your host, Veronica Nzu, and at Startup Hustle Podcast, we bring you real vibes, real hustle, and real impact. Karibu sana, Gabriel.
Yeah, my name is Gabriel Mwaingo, the
Yeah.
CEO and co-founder at Ecoprint Generations.
Okay, so you're a CEO already.
Yeah, I'm a CEO at 22, and I can say I'm still learning on how to navigate that whole CEO situation, but yeah, the experience has been good so far.
Okay, so how did you find yourself? Ulijipataje kuwa CEO?
Hey, it's actually a very funny story. So this actually started when I was done with my high school, and I was just looking for random things to do. And one day I got an application, or basically I came across an application on the internet. One thing I normally used to do a lot when I was a kid is after finishing Form 4, I looked at the internet as a library.
Okay.
Instead of looking at it as a form of entertainment. So I used to dig for different information and just learn different stuff. So upon doing that, I came across this link for a competition, the Mombasa Plastic Prize at that point in time. Then I was like, why not just take a chance at applying for this one? After applying for it, I got selected as a finalist.
Yeah.
After getting selected as a finalist, there was a whole hack event that basically watu different innovators were brought together. Alafu tulipoletwa hapo, I found my team there.
Yeah.
Then basically that's the rest is history. Then I just became CEO hivyo too.
So from if your team decided that you're going to become the CEO.
Yeah, because I'm technical.
Yeah.
Also, I understand like all parts of the business vizuri, and I'm normally very deep into the story of our business. That's why they made me CEO.
So I know that Ecoprint Generation is all about tech innovation, like the STEM. You guys use recycled plastic waste into STEM tools for the younger generation. So how did that idea come up? Was it all your idea, or was it something that you had to sit down with your team and come up with it? Because I think you already said that you're a technical person, So how did it all come out?
So it's actually a very funny story.
Okay.
Initially, what Ecoprint Generation used to do is we used to focus on making the primary raw material for 3D printing, the 3D printing filament. But one thing we noticed is that most people did not understand what this filament is. Even saying it right now, filament, if I say filament to anyone, first thing you'd think of is the bulbs, filament, bulb.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily whatever we make. So then we kind of started looking inwards, and looking inwards, I thought of a problem that I had experienced in high school. Yeah. So back in my high school days, I had a really big issue with like understanding biology. You'd find a teacher would come, teach on the blackboard, show us sketches of the heart and different parts. Then that teacher would come and tell you, Ebu, imagine blood flowing through the heart. Imagine this, doing this. Sasa unabaki hapo.
You're just imagining something that you even don't know how it looks like. Yeah.
So it was very difficult. And we didn't necessarily have like computers or anything to like have those videos shown to us. So I was like, after getting into Ecoprints and discovering about 3D printing, I was like, 3D printing can make anything, right?
Yes.
So why not make something that can help solve the problem that I encountered when I was a kid? So we started making the first designs. We made a small hut first. Then did a test with kids. And what I can tell you, it's really amazing. Those children were able to recognize the different parts almost immediately. Then I was like, using this one, basically, if we're able to replicate whatever this is to different students in different schools, maybe they may not have the problem that I may have, and maybe they'd become doctors.
Yeah.
I had a dream to become a doctor, lapo kidogo.
Something did not go the way you wanted, but that's life.
Yeah. But I can say it's good that right now, what we're doing, it's like we are enablers for people to basically make their dreams come true.
Yeah.
Because how I define Ecoprint personally for like our vision is, sure, we do the whole STEM thing, but when you think of it, I normally imagine ourselves as enablers of innovation. We're like magicians, basically. We take plastic waste, then turn it into something anything in your imagination. We turn the plastic waste into that. That to me is like magic, and it's like basically enabling whatever's in your head to come to real life.
Yeah. So have you found it like, tu venye umesema, like you've seen that kids are really happy with the innovation, but right now, like currently, people are using a lot of YouTube, a lot of these screens to like learn. I remember back in our days, these things weren't there. Like if you bring me a model, it would be like the best thing for me to interact with it. But right now, kuko na projectors kama shule, like people can use projectors to learn. Do you find it like a challenge for the Ecoprint generation product or the design or the innovation that you guys have come up with?
Okay, so I'd actually give you a fun fact. It's very funny. You know, the screens only stimulate two senses, your eyes and ears.
Yes.
Because you see something, then you hear maybe the background music or anything. But with our models, you're able to stimulate around three senses. So first, the learner sees, hears, or the background, whatever, then they're able to touch. And touching something, ukiweza kushika kitu na mkono yako, it has a really big difference to whatever you see on the screen. Then another thing we're able to do, or a test experiment we're actually conducting, is we're looking at different ways of now learners learning in general. Sasa we don't necessarily have to make the digestive system alone. We can rethink how people learn.
Yes.
Make a puzzle for a kid to solve. By solving that puzzle, the kid is able to learn more about the digestive system, you see?
Yeah.
So we're able to apply different ways of learning and also stimulate different senses. The more senses are stimulated, the more memory inaweza kuwa attached to a certain object. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I think I can concur with that because, backbenchers, I was one of them. And, see uko nyuma, like, sometimes even something can be projected on the screen and you sleep or something just passed you.
Yeah.
That is it. But if you have it, you're interacting with it, you're just looking at it. Sometimes you might even like zone out, but what is this by the way? When somebody is going to tell you what that is. I think, I think I can concur with, with that.
Yeah.
So like from the interactions and I know you guys are still growing. Yeah, you're still small. And this innovation is very big. How are you guys maneuvering around the tech part of it? Because I know you're a tech person, but do you have other tech expertise who come in to like bring in some ideas or how you guys are going to move forward in that field?
Yeah, so one thing that's very important, or even a big lesson that I learned this year, and even in the past years that we've been running, one thing that we used to do before was we tried to solve everything on our own. So we were like, oh, these things are on YouTube. Don't we have brains? We can do it on our own. But what we noticed was that eventually, so eventually what happened, it kind of extended the amount of time we had in basically making technical things work. And so what we've been really trying to do this year is we've been trying to bring in many different expertise. And okay, one thing that we've even been doing for the past 2 years is we are actively looking for people who are doing design, be it mechanical, those guys who did mechanical engineering, so guys who have expertise in SolidWorks or in things like Blender, 3D design. We don't normally do the design on our own.
Oh, yeah.
We normally take other people from basically campus students. And by doing so, we're able to have them even have another way of kind of earning some extra money.
Yes.
So another technical expertise that we're also looking to working on is something that we're currently working on. Because given that we want to democratize 3D printing in Kenya, in that we've already found a way to make the raw material locally. There are already vendors of 3D printers in our country, but you notice that another large barrier to entry is design. So we partnered with another guy to make an artificial intelligence system that can actually read images and translate that into 3D dimensional files. So you'd notice that with whatever activities we currently have right now, because if we're ever to expand the whole school program to accommodate most schools around the country, I can't say that Ecoprint can be the only manufacturer of these models. We'd have to have the teachers of these schools being enabled to make those models in their schools, and even have these learners also be able to make their models on their own. Because another thing that helps learners learn things quickly is, again, if you're able to make something on your own, you're able to understand it better. So the plan is, if we're able to have this software act as a barrier to kind of eliminate the barrier to entry, these teachers can simply just draw a heart on a piece of paper, scan it with our software, then print it into whatever.
Wow. I mean, so you guys are trying to just like kill another bird with the same
Exactly.
stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that is really impressive because I know also watching up here as some other people who always come and just grab the market from us, because right now you might have come up with that innovation, but then in the coming months or in the coming years they've already like come up with it and they come in large sum. So you find that they can also eliminate you guys from the market.
Yeah.
So like thinking about it innovating more is also something that is really brilliant, because if you stay stagnant with the same idea, with the same innovation, then you find yourself one day being pushed out of the market. So I think that can be like your value proposition, like how Ecoprint is really solving this problem. And also the fact that you guys are using the plastic pollution to like plastic waste to turn it into the 3D filament now to the, that also shows the uniqueness. And then you can also always sell the expertise, or just like teach other people on how to do that, and that's also a source of income. I mean, hey, you guys mko
Yeah,
mbali.
there are different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
And as you said, staying innovative. One thing that used to bug us a lot is
Yeah.
after the whole rise of AI,
Yes.
kitu ilikuwa inatusumbua ni naona watu wengi sai ni AI,
Yeah.
but how can we integrate AI into a company?
Yes.
With every new technology, we always look at means of kind of accommodating in our company and seeing how it can solve a problem that we experience on our own. And we were able to find that niche where we can eliminate the need for a designer by just having an artificial intelligence system that does that.
That is how you're pushing other people out of the market. Yeah.
Oh, it's not necessarily that.
Yeah.
Juu unapata, it does not only, I can say it's perfect right now.
Yeah.
It can work two ways actually. So it can either be used by a normal person who can then just draw something, then have it printed, and it can be also be used by a designer. We've worked with many designers, and they normally take a lot of time in designing most of the models we require. So a designer normally has that expertise. They have the experience to know what design is perfect. So they can use the software to make it very easy for them to complete a design in a very short period of time, then get more clients and do more work and get more money for themselves.
Yeah, true. So with this new innovation, I know like everybody's the world is going tech, and integrating AI into your innovation is a very important thing. Like what you guys have done is very incredible, because everybody is trying to innovate towards the technology part. But also like have you guys like I know some of us are vast with the technology world, but there are these people maybe in Turkana, maybe in, I don't know, this Isiolo counties. Are you guys trying to consider like those kind of people from the marginalized place who like they don't have access to this kind of innovations, you know? They maybe even don't know about AI or even tech. Even right now, when you talk about filaments and 3D printing, maybe it's something that is very new to them. So how are you guys like going to solve that problem? Or have you guys thought about that?
Yeah, we've actually thought about that a lot. And one thing, we even in a previous event, the EdTech event held here in Mombasa, a previous one, we met with these guys from, I think it's a certain company. Basically, it's a multinational company that normally does virtual trainings for students. And we talked about how we can collaborate with them in having now students learn about 3D design. We can basically offer them as lessons for these students in marginalized areas.
Yeah.
But again, when you think of it, there is also a really large barrier for something like 3D printing, because you'd notice that these students would again first need machinery. I've ever worked with an organization that teaches kids on technology, and you'd find that in marginalized areas, they don't even have access to machines.
Even electricity.
Even electricity is a problem.
Yes.
So when you think of now giving them a 3D printer and 3D printing, it's like it's a really big issue. And maybe the solution I'd have there is collaboration. So we're very like intentional. We've already collaborated with one edtech company being Tech Kids Africa. And we normally help them out in offering 3D printing lessons to students. And they normally do a lot of work with people from Compassion, basically Compassion-sponsored centers where you have children from marginalized areas. We tend to help them learn about 3D design too. So if we're able to collaborate with another organization, who have more reach to places like Turkana, because right now we don't have the capacity of getting there on our own. That's something that we're actually very open to do.
Yeah, I mean that's a good nani, that's a good initiative, because while we are thinking of going forward, we also have to think we also have to look back and see, like, who are the people which people are we leaving behind,
Yeah.
and these people who we are leaving behind, sometimes they are more than even the people that are moving forward.
Yeah, that's
so you
true.
find that you can be moving forward, but there's no impact you're making behind you guys, or behind yourself as a person. Yeah, that is really impressive. I mean, the inclusivity and everything. So, like, when you do the printing, I think you guys use machines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, how much does this machine cost? Ama hiyo ni
Yeah.
chini ya waba.
Well, these machines, you'd be surprised. Okay, initially it was very hectic to get them in the country. Like the first time we imported our machine, it was like an average of around 200,000 Kenya shillings.
Yes.
That's a pretty high figure for someone, or for even organizations that are looking to have them in such areas. But you'd notice that right now, there are many vendors of such machines in the country. There's one such vendor called iForge here in Kenya, and they offer a machine as cheaply as 50K. You get yourself a 3D printer. 50K may still be a bit high, but it's a reasonable price for a machine. And one thing that we've also noticed is that many more organizations have actually started taking these machines. Take, for example, I was at the Kenya Music Festivals the other day, and I interacted with many teacher training colleges. Funny thing is that all these teacher training colleges have a 3D printer. At first, we thought machinery was the issue, but they come to you and tell you, we already have this printer at our place. The only problem is that we don't really have someone to help operate it. And we're like, wow,
So
we were looking at...
the expertise.
The expertise is a big problem. And yeah, the expertise is a pretty big problem, because most of these organizations are run by people who don't even want people to experiment. Take, for example, one organization such as, there's this organization here in Mombasa, KCNP.
Yeah.
They have a CNC machine, which is a laser cutter, and a 3D printer, but won't allow their students to use them.
Is it because, okay, I don't get this. Is it because the machine belongs to the school, or it's because the school is mandated to just use that for some purposes, other than just like leaving the students to use the machine?
So the machine is intended to be used by students.
Okay.
Right? They have a lecturer in charge of that machine.
Yeah.
So the first problem is this lecturer doesn't even know how to use it. Then you have a student. I'll give an example of myself.
Yeah.
I taught myself everything 3D printing with YouTube.
Yeah.
I was just lucky enough to get the opportunity to get people who are willing to let me use their printer.
Yeah.
So you see, and right now I'm pretty decent at using a printer.
Yeah.
So the problem I have with these institutions is they're not giving the students a chance of just trying. I think we are so afraid of people making mistakes that you don't give them the opportunity of trying something, and eventually resources get wasted, basically.
And at the end of the day, a machine has got life, and the life of the machine is going to deplete.
It's going to
and
waste.
at the end of the day, your machine ain't a way to make a tenner.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we say that we learn from our own mistakes. And you don't know if this 3D printing machine and the other machine that you're talking about, if they leave it for the student to like interact with it, you don't know what those students what innovations those students can come up with. Maybe even the challenges that they're experiencing in the university. Is it a university or college?
Yeah, it's like a college. Yeah.
In the college, the students are going to come up with innovative solutions to curb those problems. So I think also these institutions out here, they're supposed to also have maybe an expertise person who can also educate the kids, can like be there also to supervise what the students are doing with the machines. Because I know operating a machine as a student and everything it's not like hauwezi achia mwanafunzi a machine. Lazima ukuwe na mtu mwenye ana somebody there who supervises that. So maybe the university or the college can bring in someone who is going to take charge of that, other than leaving the lectures. Sometimes lectures, tunawajua lectures.
Yeah.
A lecture can come even to the class to give out a lesson, but afike tu aseme, you guys what, do whatever you want to do. Mi nakimbia mahali. And that is it. I mean, lectures are always very busy. So leaving that thing to a lecture is not a very good idea.
But
Like, per se, like what I'm thinking, yeah.
when you think of it, when you start with data kwanza your issue, yeah, there's no expert who actually knows. It makes you just question these whole systems.
Yeah.
You take, for example, I said I interacted with around 3 teacher training institutes. They all have those machines, but they don't have an expert to use them. As it's like, sasa purpose ya kuwapatia machine ilikuwa ya nini? Alafu in Kenya, another thing is we don't really have, like, I wouldn't say there's a certification for 3D printing, like certified by Kenya. Asa unapata, that's another gap. Asa inakuwa, a person comes and tells you, I can use this machine, but you can't prove that. Asa you just have to take the chance of letting them use the machine or something. Asa I think they just have to find a structure kwanza of, or maybe even for KCMP, they contacted us and we were able to help.
Yeah.
So we're also looking at how we can help such organizations kind of
bridge that gap.
So that more people can even use these machines.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think also that's something that you guys can dive into. I mean, Ecoprint, you guys are going far. I mean, we were with your co-founder here, I think at our episode 2, and he told us about everything that you guys doing, the impact and everything. So, like, how do you work or co-work with your co-founders as the CEO now?
Okay, so what we normally do at Ecoprint is, first of all, I'm very appreciative of my team.
Okay.
I love those guys a lot. So what we normally do from the time we started, we decided to first departmentalize our roles.
Yeah.
So what that meant is we had the CEO, the CFO. The CEO is the one basically directing everyone. Yeah. Then we'd have the CFO, Chief Finance Officer, in charge of finance, talk about your books.
Majina kubwa.
Yeah.
But it's good.
You know, it's like manifesting.
Yeah.
Kama hautajiita hiyo jina sahi, you'll never become. Part of becoming is taking a role and, like being that person. As soon as you give me the title of CEO, I'm going to learn. I'm going to try as hard as I can.
You're going to take it up as a challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. Kwanza waliponipatia hiyo role, I started watching this podcast called The Diary of a CEO. Nikaanza,
how can a CEO dress? How do
exactly.
we dress? How do you pose? How do you interact with people?
I started doing a lot. Sasa unaona hiyo unapatiwa role alafu unakuwa like, by the way, in order to become whatever I'm supposed to become, I need to learn. Sasa unakuwa hivyo.
Yeah.
Sasa tuna CFO. We have my co-founder was here, the chief marketing officer. Before Dafford wasn't really hata in social media sana.
Yeah.
After kupatiwa your role, jamaa bana akaanza kupost everywhere, putting himself out there.
Yeah.
Then we have operations, chief operations officer.
Yeah.
Now yeye ndo anatupanga in day-to-day activities basically.
Yeah.
Then we have the chief technology officer. Now everything involving technology, repair of machine, getting new machines, right? Even when it comes to even that software that I'm talking about, he's part of the team in terms of now coming up with the whole idea. So we departmentalized ourselves so that we can be accountable pia. Once you're given a role, kitu yote ikifanyika vibaya hapo, you are accountable for that. So you take more responsibility for that.
True.
And it's worked for us for the past 2 years.
Yeah. So you've been in that department for 2 years.
Oh, actually I became CEO this year. Initially I was the chief financial officer.
Yeah.
Then we decided to switch kidogo juu. I don't know. I kind of noticed that I'm not so good with finance. So it's like, let's give.
Ulikuwa unataka kuangusha kampuni.
Nikasema hebu acha tumpatie mtu mwingine. Alafu sasa they decided to be like, you're more suited for CEO. And from that day, from basically the start of this year, I've tried a lot to learn how to become.
I mean, when I look at you, I see that the CEO really looks good on you because and it's very good the fact that uliamua to step down because you know that I have a weakness in the finance department. I cannot handle this, and just like communicating it with your team and telling the team that I need another role. This is not like somewhere I feel comfortable in. And the team also decided to give you some other role that right now you are thriving in it. So I think also you've taught us something here. Like, I'm telling you, CRIC just tell people that I cannot do this. I'm weak. I can't handle this role. Just give me something else to do.
Yeah.
So it shows that also being an entrepreneur or working with other people, you have to also acknowledge your faults.
weakness, yeah.
And also when the team accepts when the team accepts that, inaonyesha kwa you guys really trust each other in this journey.
Yeah, one other thing that I've actually learned this year on that point is, the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is balancing between your pride and basically believing in yourself. Because you should believe in yourself enough to like believe in the decisions you make, but also you should be humble enough to listen to others and even look within yourself, look inwards to see the faults that you have. And that has proven like you probably the biggest takeaway this year. And that was actually the reason as to why I stepped down. Nilikuwa like, hey, ushai kwa role unafanya but unasema hii
hapana, I don't feel okay here.
Hapa siko sawa. Najua mtu mwingine anaweza fanya hii kazi vizuri zaidi. And either way, in building a company, one other thing that I've been able to learn is even when hiring people, you always hire someone who's smarter than you are.
True.
Your job would basically be like directing them kwa your vision. If you're able to get people who are more competent, they get more people who are more competent, then you're able to build a very strong company. But sasa lazima pia you lower your pride kidogo.
Yeah, true.
Ukubali kwamba hapa vitu zingine mimi siwezi fanya. Huyu mtu ukubali kusikia watu.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's very important.
Having a listening ear is really important because you can be the co-founder or the founder of the startup, but there's you cannot solve all the world problems. You cannot know all the things out here. Like wewe ndo ukwe mse wa tech, wa communication, wa marketing, wa nini. At the end of the day, that thing is not going to go far. And that's one of the problem that a lot of entrepreneurs are facing out here. Msi andaka kubeba kila kitu, hataki kudelegate roles. Msi anasema, nikipeana hapa, zi. Me, I can do this. I've seen other co-founders out here, like, unapata mtu mmoja, amechukua hiyo kampuni, anafanya, ni kama ambaye ni yake, But the company is not yours. The company actually is for the customers. That's one thing people don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we are doing this for the clients out there. We're not doing this for us. I think it's something that you've told me now.
Yeah, it's something that I talked about. It was more about how being an entrepreneur and venturing into entrepreneurship is a very selfless act.
Yes.
When you think of it, you dedicate every single waking moment of your life to pleasing someone else, kwanza.
Yeah.
It's when you think of it from that perspective. Now, most good companies focus more on the people they're serving.
Yeah.
Yani unamka asubuhi juu unataka kuserve mtu tu.
Yes. And you have to make that person smile.
Yes.
You have to make that person happy.
Definitely.
And if that person is not happy, you're not happy.
You're not happy. You won't get money.
Yeah, it's like you're pleasing somebody else. It's not easy.
It's not easy. And when you even think of it from people who get into entrepreneurship towards making money, when you think of it, if money was a factor, hata heri uko employed. When you think of it like seriously, an entrepreneur's journey, especially in startups, kwanza pesa yako haitawahi kuwa constant. Kwa saa zingine utakuwa unapata pesa nyingi, saa zingine ni kidogo. But when you look at your employees, you have to pay. Kama you agreed, you'll pay them this amount of money
at the end of the month. It is that amount of money at the end of the month.
You cannot, yani huwezi divert from that.
Yeah.
Sasa it's very selfless. It's like, and if I was to advise other entrepreneurs, I'd tell them to look at it from that angle. Like, you are serving the community.
Yeah.
Not only the customers, but also the people who are working with you, right? Because your activities help them now make a living to go and serve them and their families in some way.
True.
Hasa by looking at that from that perspective, it's like I'd say entrepreneurship, it's like a CSR for now, a personal person.
Yeah.
So na vile companies zinakuanga na CSR. Yeah. Sasa wewe as a person, CSR yako ni kuanzisha kampuni.
Yeah. And that's how you grow your brand, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's something that people don't know. People think like when you have a good logo, when you have a very good name, when everybody knows like this company, that means that like your brand has grown. But your brand is growing if you really are selfless with the other people that you're working for. Because I can't say they're working for you, you're working for them.
Yeah.
Because you have to be innovative enough so that those people can keep on earning their living.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every day you just wake up. Sometimes they say that these co-founders and founders out here, or the CEOs and the directors we see out there, like they can also even run mad. Because
that's true.
mtu amejiekea hiyo burden yako kwa mgongo yake, like after every month anafaa kuwa amesonga a step forward and not a step backward, so that it can help you and help another person. Yeah. So I mean, that's a really nice takeaway to the other entrepreneurs out here, actually. And it's a very good thing that you've tackled on that. You've touched on that. So what can I say, Gabu? I mean, I'm so happy that we had this conversation today, and thank you very much for coming in for this session, because you've really shown us how young people are thriving out here, and also how we can use tech to move for a sustainable future, because right now we're all advocating for the sustainable development goals, and what you guys are doing is really important. I know we had a session with Dafford, your co-founder, but this is another view of Ecoprint, and that's really important, by the way, like the tech world, the way you guys perceive things, the way you guys communicate, and how you guys trust each other to move forward. So what I can say is, where do you see Ecoprint Generation in the next 5 to 10 years?
The next 5 to 10 years, what I see us as, again, enablers of innovation across Africa, right? I see us democratizing design and 3D printing through whatever we do, through our activities as Ecoprint Generation. We'd like to see more startups grow from whatever activities we're doing. Whatever we do, we enable prototyping. Now, if it becomes very easy for someone to do prototyping, more products will be made in Africa. More companies will be formed, more jobs will be created. It will be a better world for everyone. Most of the guys coming out of campus who want a job would actually have somewhere to now apply their skills. So that's why I see Ecoprint being enablers of innovation, not only in Kenya, but across Africa.
So you're trying to close that gap that Africa has been having for many years.
Because ukifikiria something like how the US works, they have so many companies built ndani yao, which have now been able to raise up the economy. So if we're able to do the same with Africa,
that's a very big vision for Ecoprints. But and the way you guys are doing, and how you guys have really strategized, from the word of, from just having this conversation, I can see where Ecoprint is going. Like, you guys are going far. I mean, big up, man.
You.
So, Gabu, where can we find you on social media? I know Ecoprint Generation will always find it at Ecoprint Generation on all social media platforms. But as Gabriel Mwaingo, if somebody wants to go and just like have a peek at what you do, your personality and everything, like, where can we find you?
Okay, so on LinkedIn, they can find me at Gabriel Mwaingo. Then on Twitter at Gabu Mwaingo. Facebook at Gabriel Mwaingo Ngure. Then Instagram at _Gabu Mwaingo.
Okay, thank you very much, Gabu, for just joining us in this session today. We are really happy, and we really appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, it's something that I've actually been looking forward to doing. Like as soon as I saw you guys interview the first person, was it Diana?
Yes.
I was like, I want to be on that podcast too. I'm really happy to be here, and I hope you invite me again.
Oh, definitely. Yes. We'll invite you so that we can see how Ecoprint has really grown from now to maybe the next few months from here.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much, Gabu. And to all our listeners out there, I'm your host, Veronica Nzu, and you can always find us at Startup Hustle Podcast on all social media platforms. But don't forget, this is always powered by Swahili Design Lab. Bye, and see you in our next episode.